Hey y'all, and welcome to Stivers Homestead. My name is Zach, and today I want to talk to you about, is being prepared selfish? Being prepared is such an interesting topic that depending on who you talk to, can take it a million different ways. You wanted to go this morning, T-Bird? I saw you over here. You better back up, son. Back up. On, T-Bird. Apologies. Sometimes you gotta remind what thinks is a head rooster, he ain't the head rooster on the farm. I had to squash that real quick. So where were we? About being prepared. My definition of being prepared is a family that is ready for any scenario. Any scenario. I'm talking ice storms, I'm talking natural disasters, I'm talking anything to do with government shutdowns, anything like that. You would be okay to stay in your house for a longer period of time without a worry or need of anything outside of your home. And now before we get into the specific topic on is it selfish, the reason that I like being prepared is primarily for the reason of comfort knowing that we do get to live. Being prepared is not about living in fear. Being prepared is about living to live, because you don't have a worry on anything that happens. And I think that's the biggest misunderstanding, that people that prep are scared to death. And that is the furthest from the truth. And what I mean by that is, because we have that comfort of food, water, warmth, heat, protection, we can live day to day without a single worry in the world about whatever it throws at us. Yeah, we pay attention, we make sure that we know what's going on, but it does not control our life. We live free, and living free is the best thing in the world. And living free is what we're trying to protect. And protection is important. It's important to protect our freedoms and make sure that we're standing up for our rights. Right here is where we have a little split in preparedness. Standing up for our rights and then just living free. They don't always coexist, because sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone to make sure that you're able to live free. And sometimes that's putting yourself out on YouTube videos and talking about it. Sometimes that's going and doing and talking and protesting and different stuff like that. That's not what this video is about. We're about you and your family. And what I'm saying is, we're trying to teach you to be prepared too. Now, our channel doesn't focus too hardly on all this stuff. We don't talk about it in your blunt face that often, but we do show you how to stay prepared and stay free in your life if you're mimicking and doing some of the things that homesteaders and farmers are doing. Like growing a garden, starting with the garden, like getting some meat chickens, like getting some laying chickens, like getting some goats, getting some cattle, getting some different things that will put food back for you and your family for longevity. Because the difference between a true prepper, in my opinion, and a homesteader is a prepper is buying. They're buying bulk. That's all they're doing is buying bulk and putting in their basement. Once that's out, they have no other means besides a bunch of guns and ammo to feed their family. If you have a farm or a homestead, you're thinking longevity. You're thinking, I don't want to leave this home. I want to be able to have everything I need right here, and animals are the way to do that. Animals and garden, because you're going to grow that every year, and you're going to preserve it every year, so you're not having to buy in bulk. Now, there are certain things that you do want to stock up on that you just can't grow in mass production, but you don't want that to be your only way of preparing. Now to the question, is preparing or being prepared selfish? And that answer is no, absolutely not. You always have God and family first, and you want to make sure that you protect them. But I'm telling you right now, anybody that might fall into that standard as prepared is probably also one of the most givings to their community. And just a couple small examples of that. Eggs. Egg prices have gone outrageous, right? Well, I guarantee homesteaders and farmers are giving them $3 a dozen or cheaper. And to the ones truly in need, they're giving them to them. I know Jen and I do. Anybody that is actually hungry and needs food, we will give them eggs and the stuff that we have in abundance to make sure that they feed their family. And this is happening everywhere. Everywhere that you see farms and homesteaders, they're giving back. They're giving food, they're teaching, they're doing all kinds of things to make sure that their community around them, who they can touch, who they can try to change a little, are being understood with their needs, and that they're helping them grow into a spot to where they don't need this help anymore. And I'm telling you, that's all we want. That's why I know Jen and I do YouTube. It started because we just wanted to document our family life, and so someday our kids would have all of this footage to see what was going on. And that's why it's 100% authentic. We don't want them to ever grow up and say, hey, mommy and daddy was not like this in real life that they were on YouTube. We want to be real and we want to be who we are. But then it grew into wanting to teach people. There were so many people reaching out saying, I have nothing. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do this. Thank you for your videos, for teaching me. I'm starting to learn. I'm growing. I'm figuring this out. And you all have no idea how happy that makes us and other YouTubers that do this feel. So are we selfish? No. Can we be? Yes. And so the selfish part of that is because you are protecting your family. If things did hit the fan, then you best believe we're going to be ready. Now, the ones that we're building this community off right now, like your group, are going to be the ones that you would trust in a dire situation. And that's the stuff that you need to be figuring out and remembering. Never shut off your community, always help. But when it comes most important, God and your family. What's sitting on your property is what you're here to protect. He gave me the job to protect that beautiful woman and my beautiful children, and I'm gonna make sure I do that, and nobody will change my mind there. So keep it a healthy balance. Help others, but don't drain your at home too much. Make sure that you are staying to the level that you need to be, and then when you have an abundance and you have a family that doesn't help them. I know we would give the shirt off our back for someone that was in need for that, but you have to make sure you have a healthy balance. Don't be giving out all your stuff. Don't do that. That's not a smart plan, not a good idea to do. But give what you can while you can, because it isn't so important to do so. It's just to make sure that everybody can start tasting what this life could be like. Get them interested, get them doing their own research. And sometimes that helps by just giving them a dozen eggs. So I talk a lot about this beautiful part, right? We're not selfish, we're giving, we protect our own, we're ready for anything. But there is a lot of fear mongering out there. And unfortunately, that's in every scenario. So when we say sometimes we don't help, it's because, it's probably not a truth person. It's a person that is probably in it for the wrong reasons or not wanting to do so. So that's when you do get a little cowboyed up and a little redneck. You're like, no, we're not helping you, son. You need to go back and figure out your truth and who you are. And unfortunately, that's happening all over the media, YouTube, TV, it's stuff that you all know. But you're smart. I have faith in you. YouTube's been around long enough. You all have caught on to the ones that are just trying to get views, that are just putting fear in your face because they know it'll get clicked, and the ones that are actually making you aware. Because there are a lot of good channels out there that are just making you aware of what's happening in the world and making sure that you're stocking up and you're getting prepared in the areas that are hitting us the hardest. And I know that seems like it might be a little difficult to figure out, but it's not. It's not at all. You know the ones that are truthful. Just watch, pay attention, tell you what your gut's saying, and trust your gut. It's probably right. And I'm gonna be honest with you, as much as I think the world is absolutely crazy, it feels like things are doing all right. Like things are just all right, you know what I mean? Because we can't control the stuff that's happening in the grocery stores or in the government or stuff like that, but what we can do is control our communities and ourselves. And if our community as a whole is solid, to me, that's the world. That's the world building. And if all multiple communities are starting to build up and unite with each other, then that is beautiful. That is what we need to be talking about and what we need to be seeing. And you have the power to start making that change. And I think it's already happening. So kudos, because it's really beautiful to see. So you probably think, man, it's all great information, but what are you saying? What do you want me to do? I want you to be prepared. I don't want you to be scared. And I want you to have a happy home where you're living free, standing up for yourself and your family, protecting that family, and not worrying about what anybody else says. Because I know in your heart, you're not selfish. You're just making sure that God and family are first, and then anything else, you'd be happy to help. Keep that up. Keep doing that. Keep being that person. And if you're starting in that growth, make sure that you know that community matters. Community matters so much in this world. And it's like I've always said, you can't be sustainable by yourself, 100% sustainable. There's gonna be things you need from others. Now, could you just live and survive and feed? Absolutely, you probably could. We can as well. But when you're in that kind of situation, you still wanna live free. And that's the whole goal. You don't wanna live just eating tomato juice because that's what you had a good year of. You wanna be able to talk to your neighbor and be like, hey man, I got a bunch of tomato juice. Can I have some green beans? And you do some trading. So you gotta make sure that you're staying nice. You're not bunkering down too deep of a hole, and you're enjoying life. Enjoy it every freaking day. Jen and I treat every day like it's Friday because we don't want to live for the weekends and we don't want to bypass a day that might be the last, because you never know. So y'all, we love you. We're headed to Florida. It's gonna be a great time. This is part of us giving back. We're giving back. We're gonna have a speech. We're gonna give a presentation down there. We're gonna get to meet a lot of beautiful people that are wanting to build their community and learn more how to do this right here. Call it what you want. Homesteading, farming, prepared, sustainable. It doesn't matter. what it is, all has the same goal with feeding our families and helping others around us that are in dire need. But God and family first. Y'all, I love y'all. Hope to see you down in Florida. And if not, we'll be right here on YouTube.